People have told me season 1 of Psycho-Pass is goated, and when I tell you my disappointment levels is at an all-time high right now, it is just beyond me. Season 1 is only 22 episodes long, and they didn't get into the main plotline until episode 14. That's over 50% of the season wasted on what I would honestly call a filler. Like, for the first couple of episodes, it was an episode-by-episode plotline, similar to something like the OG Law & Order SVU. But they do it so poorly to the point where the main plot is treated like a B-plot until like the last couple of episodes. Honestly, even original Ben 10 did the structure better, where every episode it was a different villain, but we started getting more development about the Omnitrix and stuff like that through these different villains. All we got in those first couple episodes is lore about them characters that didn't really matter, and it really just helped us understand the Psycho-Pass system a little bit more. For some reason, they decided to just give us backstories about each and every character in the first couple of episodes, but backstories don't really matter when it's happening before it's relevant. For example, picture if they gave us Rock Lee and Neji's backstory during the Forest of Death arc, it would have felt 10 times weaker than what it really was. Watching their backstories when it was relevant, like Rock Lee trying to bring his body back to life after Gaara assaulted him and Neji fighting Hinata, like, when they're relevant, they matter. When they're not relevant, they're filler. Like Kakashi Zanbu backstory, for example, I'm pretty sure they gave us that before the war and it meant absolutely nothing. Another issue I got with the structure is that it feels like I'm forced to watch a season 2 to feel satisfied. Anime like Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, they all fall under the same issue, even though they're like good anime. There's no real goal, there's no real direction, so it can end realistically in any arc and it will just feel abrupt. But there are anime that do work with this format. You got One Piece, Naruto, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Death Note. Going into these anime, you know that there is a clear goal. You're gonna have to watch it until that goal is met. No matter what the goal is, you will slowly see it being met. For example, going from East Blue Pirates to Warlords to Emperors, like, you can see like a real progression. And like I said, Death Note, watching them slowly get closer to solving the case, you feel real progression going on. But there are some anime that just don't do this at all. You got Sword Art Online, for example. I'm pretty sure Aincrad and Alphaman Online are both wrapped into the same season. But even then, after he beat the first game, I still would have been satisfied leaving the series. In Pokemon, even though there is a goal that he hasn't reached yet, I can still drop off at any generation and still feel satisfied. Like, before Ash goes to a region, he literally departs with his friends, almost like departing with us. Like, you feel satisfied with that ending no matter what. There are other things I don't like about the season, like the weird CGI and the lack of fights, but I mean, there's not much to say about that other than those statements right there, so take that as that. But the last thing I want to cover is the characters themselves. It's not much to say about most of them because all of them are a bunch of cliche clones. You got Kogami, aka knockoff Ichigo. He's the stubborn loose cannon who always likes to break the rules but still gets the job done, and he secretly has a heart but he doesn't show it, you feel me? They do this a lot. There's a lot of characters that fit in that category, but his dual personality actually sets him apart from them. Ichigo does have a personality, but if you only watch the Fullbringer arc where he's just kind of moping around the entire arc, that's kind of how Kogami feels. You have Genoza, aka knockoff Levi. You know, he's heavy on the rules, but eventually starts questioning them and breaking them, yada yada yada. It's not much to say about him because, yet again, another boring character with no personality. They eventually give him like a little moment when the old dude dies, but you feel me, that's pretty much it. You have the more obvious cliche one, Shogo, who's a Madara clone, you know, the villain that kind of has the right idea but has a terrible way of going about it. His personality is more similar to Aizen during the Soul Society arc, but he doesn't have that same level of intimidation, so he just feels like another dull, cocky nobody. You have Tomoe, aka Whitebeard, being a relic from the past. He's definitely wasted potential being the only character that we saw from the old era and they just kill him off the way they did. Based on what we've seen at the end, it seems like there's going to be more hate towards the Psycho-Pass system, so having somebody from that era, you feel me, those insights are needed. You have Kunizuka, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She was relevant in one episode, and outside of that, she had one line in like one of the later episodes, and that was her entire character. You have Shion Kanmaru, however you say her name, bro. I don't even have to say much about her. If you've seen Code Geass, you know who this character is. She's a knockoff of this character to the T. Then you have Kagari, the only character in this entire series who doesn't have a dull personality. He was relevant in like 2 frames, and that was it. They killed him off. And I'm pretty sure he was the first main character death in this series, so to kill off a character that we didn't even see in the first place is just like what was the point? I saved Akane for last because it's just going through my head, like, what were they possibly thinking with this character? She was introduced as a character who already didn't believe in the Psycho-Pass system, and then she just had a full U-turn and was like, this system is absolute, we need to make sure this system stays intact. Like, her entire personality changed. In the beginning, she was acting like, you feel me, she was acting like herself, a rookie female 20-something-year-old cop. He went from that to Dirty Cop out of nowhere. It literally feels like with the way this show is written, it feels like they took a chunk out of the season and just uploaded it like that. There's so many gaps in time and the tone just completely switches too many times throughout the story to where it just doesn't feel natural. Walking Psycho-Pass up the Tower of Justice, it does not get far. I'm only gonna give it a 20% because the only things I enjoyed about this series was the concept, and that was really about it. It was some C plot lines that I somewhat enjoyed, some small moments that I enjoyed, but overall, I would never recommend this show to anybody, and watching a season 2 of this show would only give me pain. If this video gets some likes and some comments telling me to watch season 2 of Psycho-Pass, I will give it a chance, but if it's equally as trash as season 1, I will go to your house personally and fling spoons through the window until all the windows are broken in your house. That's all I really got to say. Leave anime recommendations and video ideas in the comments and I'll definitely check them out.